Real estate investors, I know it's a burning question, where to find those deals, the good deal that you can buy and fix and flip, or buy and fix and rent. And I'm here to tell you, and it comes from experience, the MLS is still the best place to find a real estate deal. The MLS is the multiple listing service, and it's the service that all real estate professionals use. It's in every city in every state across the US. All properties for sale are listed there. It's the best exposure to buyers. And as a buyer, it's a good place to find those deals still to this day. Before we jump on and show you an example of how to search the MLS, let me give you 4 data points that are helpful to show you that there might be a motivated seller there and that these properties are ripe for the picking. Number 1 is aged inventory. The MLS will tell you, and all the reciprocating websites on the MLS, Redfin, Zillow, Homes.com, all those websites will show you how many days on market that property's been listed. And basically what that indicates is you've got a seller who's committed to selling their property. They're struggling. They're overpriced. The property doesn't, maybe it's the ugliest property on the street, which is great. You always want to buy the ugliest property on the street, but they're committed to their strategy to get rid of that property. They're planning to get rid of that property and they're struggling. That's a great way to come in and maybe see how negotiable the seller is. Try and pick up that property for a good price. The second thing is properties that go back on the market. They've been for sale, they've gone under contract, they come back to active. One reason or another, you can get insight from the real estate professionals, that property transaction failed. Maybe the property didn't qualify for financing. Maybe the buyer didn't qualify for financing. Maybe the seller's fed up with buyers who don't have any capital or can't obtain financing, and they've gone a little soft on the price. There's another great opportunity there. The third is distressed properties. And distressed properties has a couple of different categories. The first one is a bank-owned property. Properties that have gone to foreclosure. The bank had a loan against the property, the borrower didn't perform, the bank had to take that property back. Those are often distressed properties that need a little renovation or they've got deferred maintenance, and that's a great opportunity for an investor to come in, fix that property up, bring it up to market value, and resell that property for profit. Short sales are another category under distressed properties, and a short sale is someone who is underwater. They owe the bank more money than the property is worth or what they can sell that property for. They're trying to get rid of that property before they get a foreclosure on their credit, and they're trying to work with the bank to approve that short sale. If you can come in on those properties and pick that deal up, it's often distressed, needs renovation, and you've got a motivated seller, and if you can get the offer approved by the bank, you've got a good deal there. Last but not least, and this still involves a real estate professional, are pocket listings. I've had wonderful success with pocket listings. When you've established yourself as a real estate investor who closes and closes on time, real estate agents love real estate investors. They pick up a listing, the seller says, hey, I got to get out of this property. I want to sell this property as quickly as possible. Instead of putting it on the MLS and having everybody truck through your house and waiting for that right buyer to come along, that agent hits the phone, calls up all the real estate investors they know and says, hey, I got a deal for you. Hasn't gone live on the MLS. Seller wants it done. Let's go. Pocket listings, I can't tell you how many stories I have where realtors have called me and said, we know you close, would you buy this property? And we've had some great successes there. So now we can jump on the MLS. I'll show you some tips and tricks on how you can find a distressed property, an aged property, a property back on the market, bank owned, etc. Let's go. All right, here we are. This is the multiple listing service, and of course I have access to the MLS because I am also a real estate professional and a lender. But I would recommend that you work with a real estate professional who has full access to the MLS so you can search and source the deals that you're looking for. So let me go in here. I've got coming soon, active, and we're going to go to our favorite city, Huntington Beach. And if we search Huntington Beach here, we've got 188 matches. And it's easy when you're on the MLS. Before we sort by anything else, here's the category for days on market and cumulative days on market. And we've got some old stuff here. Here's a property that's been on the market for 456 days. 350, 262, 238. What does this tell us? This tells us that these properties have been around for a while. They're not selling for one reason or another. Could be the price, could be the location, could be that the property just isn't that appealing. And here you have it. It's a property that could probably use a little bit of renovation. If the seller's a little soft on price, this could be an opportunity as a fix and flip. Now I'll go in here and I'd like to show you how to search for bank-owned properties. Every multiple listing service has this. This is a real estate owned or bank-owned property. And we're going to have to switch our city here because there are 0 in Huntington Beach, California currently. Let's just go to the county of Orange. Orange County has 4 bank-owned properties currently listed for sale. And here's some interesting information. 328 days bank-owned property listed for sale. Probably a lot of opportunity in this property here. Here's one that's been on the market for 50 days, 36 and 8. Let's look at this Fullerton property. Pretty standard looking bungalow here in Fullerton. 25 photos. Doesn't look half bad. Doesn't look great either. There's some texture missing here and paint. Some trim work around the walls. The bank has to sell this property. Banks are not in the business of hanging on to real estate. They want to sell. They need to sell this property. They acquired this property through a foreclosure action. This property is staged well, virtually staged. The realtor is showing you what it could look like after it's been painted. But as you can see, there are repairs needed. This is a great property to pick up. Try and make an offer on this property, see if you can get a good deal, make those repairs, get this property sold to an end user with a happy family. And then I went to, let's go to notice of default. All right, let's further expand on distressed properties. I've selected a category here under notice of default. This could be a short sale. This could be a property where the borrower's just fallen behind on payments and maybe they have equity, but they are racing the clock against a foreclosure action. They need to sell this property. So let's look at these results. There are 8 properties in the county of Orange County, California here. And you can see notice of default, trust sale, short pay, this one here. This is a property in Irvine. Phenomenal market here in Irvine, California. Let's start there. As you can see, there's only one photo here on the MLS. It's been on the market for 5 days. There could definitely be opportunity here. Again, you have a seller who needs to sell. They're racing the clock. Looks like they're a little distressed. They need to sell this property. This is a great opportunity. Alrighty, and here we have the creme de la creme, finding a fixer-upper property on the multiple listing service. And if you're working with a real estate agent, you can tell them exactly how to do this, but I'm going to show you how to do this now. I've selected coming soon, active under contract, and pending. Let's go to Riverside County so we get a broad search here. And I've added a field here called private remarks. And in private remarks, if I use an asterisk and I type in the word fixer, we are going to look for a fixer property in Riverside County. And let's see how many results we have. We have 9 properties in Riverside County. Not a lot of days on market here, the highest 2 being the 92 and 169, with 274 days cumulative days on market, which means this property's been on the market a couple of times. Let's focus in and zero in on this property here in Mountain Center. And how did we find this property? Because we've got a motivated seller, and somewhere in these comments we've got a fixer. Ready to move in. That is not a fixer, but could use some cosmetic work. terms that realtors use, but this is your number one resource. Best place to find distressed properties is the multiple listing service. Again, tried and true. It seems old school, but this is where every real estate professional goes to sell properties. This is where you, as a fix and flip investor, are going to go to exit your property for maximum dollar. There's a good place to buy low, and there's a great place to sell high, and it's the multiple listing service. Been around for years. It is tried and true. It is the number one source for finding a good deal. If you have any questions about this video or you'd like me to expand further, put your comment below on this video and I'll do my best to reply as soon as possible.